Israel-Gaza Iran War News Live Update. Gaza hospital director released by Israel. Israeli authorities released about 50 Palestinian prisoners on Monday. They include the head of a hospital officials alleged Hamas exploited as a command center. Authorities said the action freed up space in overcrowded jail centers. Al-Shifa hospital director Mohammed Abu Salmiya participated in the detention. In November, Israeli commandos attacked the facility and detained him. Abu Salmiya alleged torture happened virtually daily after his release. He claimed daily cell raids and harsh beatings. He said, "We're sure. We endured it bitterly." Abu Salmiya faced no charges or trial. He denied military usage of the hospital. Israeli leaders reported that their soldiers in Gaza killed 20 militants during raids on weapons-making and storage locations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claimed Monday that his force was nearing the finish of eradicating the terrorist army of Hamas. He said the forces will keep hitting its remnants. On Sunday, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant claimed forces were dismantling Hamas weapons storage and transportation tunnels. He said militants cannot equip themselves, treat injuries, or bring in reinforcements. He called them worn down. On Monday, several Lebanon-fired rockets hit Israel, setting off northern sirens and causing damage but no injuries. As Hezbollah attacks have brought the two countries close to conflict, the Israel Defense Forces carried out many strikes in Lebanon. The Iran-backed terror group later announced the death of a member. Benny Gantz, a former war cabinet member, told European ambassadors that Lebanon would pay if Beirut doesn't limit Hezbollah. Since October 8, Hezbollah-led fighters have attacked Israeli communities and military posts along the border nearly daily, claiming to support Gaza in the Israel-Hamas war. Rockets hit Israel in the afternoon following a false alarm overnight and a peaceful Monday morning. The military reported one hitting Metula, northern border town. The evacuation of Metula left no injuries. Hebrew media reported that the rocket hit an unoccupied residence without sirens. Kiryat Shmona heard rocket sirens, and at least 7 rockets impacted northern neighborhoods in the afternoon. 5 rockets triggered sirens in northern Mayan Baruch. The IDF reported no injuries from rockets hitting open areas. One rocket shot at Dovav and another at Ramat Naftali, setting out sirens. The IDF reported no injuries from both rockets hitting open areas. The IDF bombings in southern Lebanon included buildings in Eidaroun and Ada Ash-Shab where Hezbollah operatives were gathering. Fighter jets targeted further Hezbollah buildings and infrastructure in Markaba, Hola, and Kafr Kila. According to the army, the IDF says it launched an airstrike against Hezbollah members entering a building in southern Lebanon's Blida in the morning. The IDF reported that 91st Galilee Regional Division artillery recognized Hezbollah personnel and a fighter plane hit the facility shortly after. IDF missions overnight hit other southern Lebanon Hezbollah locations. The military said it targeted terror organization buildings in Kafr Kila and infrastructure in Hola, Bayada, and Rab al-Falathin. On Monday night, Hezbollah announced the death of a comrade slain on the road to Jerusalem, its term for Israeli hits. Hamza Shower was from Tyre, a coastal city. Lebanon to soon enough start feeling war. Gantz threatened European embassies that they could target Lebanon if Hezbollah doesn't halt its attacks. "There's a state over there and it has a government," Gantz told an Elnet briefing, "and it cannot grasp the stick from both sides unless it wants to break it on its own knee. If we have to break it, we will," said the National Unity Party leader and former IDF chief of staff. Lebanon has not paid the price of this war yet, but they will shortly. You must stop Hezbollah. Hezbollah must decide if it's an Iranian branch or a Lebanese group and pay the consequences. Last month, Gantz pulled his party out of the emergency government he joined after Hamas's October 7 strike, which launched the Gaza Strip conflict and Hezbollah-Israel cross-border skirmishes. He had policy disagreements with Netanyahu. Gantz warned the ambassadors that Israel cannot allow Hezbollah to carry out an attack like the Hamas-led onslaught, in which 3,000 Palestinian terrorists rushed into southern Israel from Gaza and massacred 1,200 Israelis and took 251 hostages. Iran, which supports Hamas, is the cornerstone of all these concerns and regional instability, he said. Gantz spoke after the Iraqi Resistance Coordination Committee, a militia group, threatened to attack Israel if Hezbollah tensions in Lebanon escalate into war, Al Mayadeen reported Sunday. The pro-Hezbollah Lebanese website also said the committee threatened Washington that U.S. interests in Iraq and the Middle East would be valid targets in a battle between Israel and Hezbollah. Drone assaults on Eilat by Iran-backed militias in Iraq have occurred in recent months. Sunday saw 3 Hezbollah drones launched toward Israel from Lebanon. IDF, one explosive-laden drone struck Maram Golan, injuring 18 servicemen. Each soldier was in decent shape save for the badly wounded. The terror group claimed responsibility for attacking an Israeli military installation in reaction to IDF raids earlier in the day. Essentially lost sovereignty. Monday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken stated Israel has virtually lost control in the northern quadrant of its country because people don't feel secure to go to their homes. Blinken, speaking on stage at the Brookings Institution, said Israel does not desire a war in Lebanon but may be willing to fight in one to safeguard its interests. According to Blinken, neither Hezbollah nor Lebanon want a battle that would envelop Lebanon, and Iran would rather save the terror group for a direct conflict with Israel. On one hand, nobody wants war. However, momentum may be moving in the direction we want to stop, Blinken remarked. According to him, the U.S. is actively negotiating an agreement to ensure that Hezbollah retreats north of the Litani River, 30 kilometers, 18.6 miles, from the border, to prevent daily threats to civilians. Blinken also believed a Gaza truce was the best approach to stop Hezbollah and Houthi attacks.